I'm Jacky Wilson, and you've just turned into this episode of CTV Talks. This week, we're feeling a little fancy, and we're taking a behind-the-scenes look at an Italian wine and cheese event that is sure to combine fun, food, and fine arts. Then catch this week's weather updates with Austin Harley. But first, let's meet our fabulous guest for tonight. Here joining us is Fain from Pinots Palette. Thank you so much for being here, Kim.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Oh, of course. We're glad to have you back in the studio.
Yeah.
So can you tell us a little bit about how you're preparing for this big event that you've got going on?
Well, we have the Welsh Rabbit coming in, and we have a wine representative, and we're going to be painting an Italian painting, which is right over here to this side, called Venetian Flats. We are preparing bites of cheeses and glasses of wine for everyone to try when they come in.
That's so fun. So can you tell us a little bit about where this is going to take place and how it's going to look?
It's going to happen in our studio, which is Pinots Palette on West Mountain. We're all going to be sitting around kind of in a European style and sharing our experience with the wine and cheese.
Perfect with that Venetian Flats painting.
Yeah.
It'll pair perfectly together, just like this wine and cheese.
Yes, I hope so. I think it'll be great.
So how did you pair Welsh Rabbit with Pinots Palette? How did that kind of conjunction come along?
Well, we try to partner with other small businesses in downtown Fort Collins, and we have with other various businesses, and so we got to know the owners of the business through some events that we did together and meetings that we attended, and just thought this would be a really great and fun thing to do.
Definitely. I mean, wine and cheese, what's better?
Yes, yes, and painting.
Yeah, there's painting involved, exactly.
Right.
So what are some similarities that you've seen between these two businesses, Pinots Palette and Welsh Rabbit?
Well, both of us are locally owned. Pinots Palette is a franchise, but we're both locally owned. We're small businesses. We're right close to each other, and we're downtown. So our clientele's similar. We have clients that like cheese and wine, mostly female, but a lot of males come into either place as well.
Definitely. I've been there and I've seen that happen. Everyone seems to enjoy it. It doesn't seem to necessarily pertain to any one particular audience.
Right,
which
exactly.
is great. That's so awesome. So why do you think wine and cheese go so well together?
Well, the pairings can be very unique. You know, there's just such a variety of wines that just goes on. And what I've found is cheeses as well. Different countries, different types, different textures. And when you put them together, it just is a really unique experience.
That's so cool. So for people who are attending this event, what can they expect to learn?
Well, we're going to do 3 different pairings. We're going to do 2 reds and a white, and then Italian cheeses as well. So I think what they're really going to take away from it is finding out actually what wines and cheeses go together, what to order when you're out to dinner, an Italian restaurant, a French restaurant, and it definitely does make a difference if you kind of know a little bit about what you're doing.
Right, definitely. I mean, you'd feel so much fancier.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
That's so neat. And what specific wines are you going to be serving?
We are going to be serving a Santa Crista Bianco, which is a white, a Santa Crista Tuscan Red, which is a light red, it's not heavy, and then a Bola Cabernet.
Ooh, which one's your favorite?
I like the Bianco. I like white wine, and it goes perfectly with the Asiago cheeses. It kind of just melts in your mouth.
That sounds so good. I can't wait. I wish I could be there.
I wish you could too.
I know, that'll be so fun. So what is the most interesting part about the painting process that you think will be fun? Because obviously wine and cheese, enough said, fun in itself, right?
Right, yeah. Well, the painting that we're doing represents an Italian village. So as you're tasting the wine and cheese, you're actually painting an Italian painting. And the fun part of it, as we always say at Pinots Palette, anyone can paint this painting. You don't have to be an artist. If you are an artist, really great. You know, that works well too.
Yeah, that's so exciting. Well, I'm excited to ask you a little bit more about the atmosphere, but we'll have more to come when we'll be back with Pinots Palette after the break.
This is the moment I knew his future had no boundaries.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
Welcome back, Rams. For those of you just joining us, we're here with Representative Fain from Pinots Palette, and tonight we're learning all about things wine and cheese. Well, as you can see here, we have some paintings from Pinots palette. Can you tell us a little bit about these, Kim?
Well, the logo that's the Pinots palette logo, and it's on our sign. This one here is a painting that's really popular in Colorado. It's got some mountains and some trees in the front. It's one of our most popular paintings. And then, of course, the Venetian Flats is the one we're doing during the wine and tasting, and that represents a little Italian village.
This is so neat. So obviously we're talking about how we're going to have this awesome event with wine, cheese, and painting. Can't get any better than that. So can you tell us a little bit about what the painting experience will look like?
Well, when people come in, you know, sometimes they're nervous, sometimes they're not, sometimes they paint. But overall, I think there's going to be a high level of expectation. They're going to get to try wine and cheeses that maybe they've never tried before. And they're also going to get some really great instruction. But along with that, there's the entertainment values. So you have an artist on stage, there's music, there's a little wine. At our last wine and cheese, or our last wine tasting, we actually had a Congo line, which was really fun. We've done air guitar contests. You just never know what's going to happen.
You never know. And actually, it's so cool to see how everybody has painted different things. And you'd expect to kind of go in and everyone's being taught the same thing. But why do you think that is?
I think it's just the expression. When somebody sits down in front of a canvas, and we encourage that. They can do whatever colors, they can change their painting. But I think it's just the full expression of doing what you want to do.
Right, and the wine probably helps with that.
It definitely helps, yeah, for sure.
And for those of you maybe just joining us, we are talking about how you are doing this great event with Welsh Rabbit Cheese Shop. So what do you think is the most beneficial part of pairing your wonderful business with another great local business?
Well, definitely the downtown district, the downtown associations have a feeling of community. Fort Collins is more a small town than I think some people realize. We support each other. They support me, we support them. We purchase each other's products, and it just makes a really positive feeling when you go down there, where we're just all kind of, you know, coping together, dealing with the crowds. And through the summer, it gets real exciting with all the new events coming up.
Oh, definitely, I'm sure. And this event's happening on March 1st, right?
Saturday.
That's coming up. How exciting.
Yeah.
So what do you think is the most important part? I mean, obviously we have the Italian Venetian Flats, correct? Venetian Flats going with this, which is perfect. But what do you think is most important about picking a painting for the event?
Definitely a painting that goes with the theme. So we have a library of over 300 paintings. It's a national library that we can pull from. So you've got to choose, you know, it's got to be kind of theme specific, but it also has to have public appeal. You don't want something out there that nobody wants to hang in their house.
Right.
You know, this has a lot of different colors and variety. And, you know, hopefully most people want to hang it right in their living room.
Right,
So,
definitely. Yeah. And obviously for the individual, it's fun to have something you can hang in your house. But what do you think makes group painting so fun?
The socializing, the sharing, the anticipation. You sit at tables with people you may not know, and by the end of the night, you've made new friends.
And a couple glasses of wine.
And some wine helps, for
There
sure,
you go.
as always.
So
Yeah.
do you have an art background yourself?
I don't.
Really?
Yeah, I'm a business major.
There you go.
I do the outlines, I provide the infrastructure, I guess, and the artists do the rest, and they do a fabulous job.
That's so awesome. And why is a step-by-step process through the whole painting idea? Why is that so important?
You know, it's important because it lets everyone create. Nobody feels left out or anxious that they don't know how to do it. So the beginners can go step by step and really, you know, methodically go through it, which is fine for some, you know, engineers or mathematicians that aren't artistic. But then on the other hand, the people that are very artistic, they have the creative bug where they can just come in and paint, and they can not follow the process, and that's perfectly fine too.
Right, that's amazing. And how many classes do you offer in a week?
We offer an average of 6 classes a week, and then we hold an average of 4 private parties a week. So we have 2 studios. So it's a pretty busy little place.
Awesome. And if I wanted to sign up for a class, how would I go about doing that?
You can go to our website, or you can give us a phone call.
Wonderful. That's so neat. Well, thank you, Kim, so much again for joining us. It's been a
Thank you.
pleasure having you back here. And we'll be right back with weather anchor Austin Harley.
Take my hand and start a brand new day.
Underneath everything we are all people. And when we reach out a hand to one, we can influence the condition of all. That's what it means to live united.
Welcome back from the break. What a great interview. It was very interesting, at least I thought. And let's go ahead and take a look at those forecast conditions. I'm your meteorologist, Austin Harley. You can see that another system called a polar vortex, which brings very cold temperatures straight out of northern Canada, has dipped into the U.S. yet again this winter. This front right here, this cold front stretching across the United States from Montana all the way into Michigan, is devastating temperatures, bringing temperatures very much below normal, 20 to 30 degrees in fact. However, you can see that that front is sitting just a little bit to the north and east of Fort Collins and Colorado. Thankfully, that has kept us out of it. We experienced a little bit yesterday afternoon, but that certainly is not going to be the fact tomorrow. It's actually going to be very warm tomorrow. Everywhere southwest of here is experiencing a little bit of moisture, which will be streaming into Colorado over the weekend. However, these temperatures in the the southwest and western United States are very warm, actually about 10 to 15 degrees warmer than normal. We can go ahead and take a look at those current temperatures right now across the nation. There's that polar vortex. It is currently -10 in International Falls, Minnesota, 10 up near Rapid City, South Dakota. Here in Denver, we're getting about 30, and you can see that it was certainly warm in the southeast and southwest today, as per the usual. 70s in Florida, and they also had some 70s in California today as well. Hopefully those warm temperatures are headed here, and we'll see in a little bit at the 7-day. Right now, though, let's take a look outside the studio here in Fort Collins. 29 degrees with mostly clear skies this evening. That'll certainly allow the temperatures to plummet as that heat blows out of the atmosphere. 25 degrees is our wind chill right now with that wind out of the southwest. We can see that tonight it will certainly get a lot colder than it has over the last few nights. You can see that here in Fort Collins, we are going to be experiencing a low in the mid-teens, and in the high country, it will all be very cold this evening. And then over the weekend, it will begin to improve somewhat, but certainly those lows are be sticking around with our clear skies the next few days. Tomorrow's highs are a different story than we experienced today. That is for sure. 54 in Fort Collins tomorrow. It's going to be beautiful. That's about 10 degrees warmer than normal. 58 in Denver, nearly 60 in Pueblo, and mid-50s on the western slope as well. The eastern plains aren't looking too bad either. 57 in Lamar. However, these conditions will hold for about tomorrow and Friday, but we have a chance for snow moving in on Saturday, especially in the mountains. This graphic displays the chance of getting more than 2 inches of snow in the next 3 days. Red is 90%, so definitely the mountains are going to see at least 2 inches of snow over the next few days. This brown you can see right here near Greeley, that's about a 5% chance of snow over the next few days. We're seeing about 25%, so it's likely that we'll get some snow, but depending on how much it is, probably an inch or less. We'll go ahead and take a look at your extended forecast, and you can see when that snow is expected and what else we have in the forecast for the next 5 days. Tomorrow, Thursday that is, we have a high of 54 and partly cloudy skies, certainly a nice day. Those winds, though, that we experienced earlier this week and last week, they'll be returning on Friday, luckily just for 1 day, though. Chance for snow comes again on Saturday and Saturday evening, probably around an inch. We'll have more on that later in the week. Sunday, cloudy, and Monday, still pretty cold with a high near 28.
And you'll see Austin tomorrow night for weather. Instead of me, he'll be filling in.
Yeah, it'll be a great time.
Thank you so much for joining us for CTV Talks. I'm Jacky Wilson.
And I'm Austin Harley. Have a good night, Rams.
My new dad teaches me all kinds of stuff.
I wouldn't use this one.
He helps me with my decision making.
Ever.
And he's even teaching me how to drive.
And that's why cars have bumpers. You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.